Hello everyone, welcome to Apti Plus Academy for Civil Services. It's a video on daily news and editorial analysis, which I'll be covering from the Hindu and Indian Express, the important news and editorial that would be relevant for the preparation of civil services examination will be discussed in this session. So let's get started with the news topic list. Today is 5th of July. The first important news, that is Digital India Bill to promote the digital competition. We'll see what is the government move and how the Ministry of Commerce and even the Ministry of IT are collaborating on this part to ensure that the digital bill are actually working. Second is India refuses China's BR project. This is BRI project which China is developing. And the SCO meet, which was virtually held yesterday, India has categorically rejected the part of the development. Third, that is shelter home for trafficked women in the border areas. Second last, that is tribute to Alluri Sitarama Raju. And the last is an editorial, antibiotics with a promise of a lifeline India's await. Apart from the news and editorial discussion, at the end of this video, there will be MCQ based questions. These questions will be based on current affairs that will help you for the upcoming prelims examination. So without any further ado, let's get started. And before I begin this session, those of you who are new to our channel, do not forget to subscribe Apti Plus Academy for Civil Services on YouTube. If you like this video, if you find this video informative and helpful, do hit that like button. So starting the session with the first news, that is Digital India Bill to promote the digital competition. Something important for General Studies Paper 2, that is the government policies and intervention for the development of various sectors and issues arising from a design and implementations. So on the part of the recommendations that was given by a committee, and this committee was actually formed by the Ministry of Corporate Affairs, better known as MCA, right? So they have come with the readiness to draw our digital competitions where the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, which is a nodal entity in India in terms of internet space, is expected to prescribe the broad guidelines when it comes to the part of competition space and especially when it comes to the regulations. Now, Ministry of Corporate Affairs ne recently lead ली थी where they have come up with the formulations and enforcing the specific rules related to this sector. By this sector, I mean the internet space, the part of the social media that is regulated. Now, some important points that was recommended by the committee is relevant for your mains examination. So what does the committee said? So the committee on the competitions, they have said that should be formed. The MCA secretary to head the panel. And they have also part that the ministry's official will be there from the industry and industry expert will be included. It called for a certain rules and sufficient to deal with the digital companies, examine the need for ex-ante regulation. I'll tell you what is ex-ante regulation. Now, study best global practices and examine the role of SIDI impact in the part of the competition landscape. So these were some of the important mandate and recommendations that was given by the committee. Now, the important point that you need to know is what is ex-ante regulations. So this was actually recommended by a committee which was set up by the Ministry of Corporate Affairs, which is also known as MCA. और इसमें प्रपोज की गई थी कि ex ante of competition regulations होनी चाहिए digital space में. Now, if you see the part of India's current regulation or currency regulation structure, the competition issues follow the ex post approach, right? And in this, the meaning that the regulator and the Competition Commission of India can only take action against the entity once the anti-competition practice has been established. Now, under the ex-ante framework, the companies will have to put in place the mechanism to prevent any abusive or any anti-competition practice. So any malafide intentions with the business and anything which is anti-competition practices will be regulated as a part of ex-ante regulations. Now, Internet and Mobile Association of India एक important body है जिसके अंदर कुछ important companies की भी participations होती हैं. That include the part of Google, Meta and Microsoft. They have sent a note to the committee and which was actually set up by the Ministry of the Corporate Affairs. They've said that the ex anti regulations in this sector will de-incentivize, जो incentives है उसको de-incentivize की जाएगी, and even the companies from the part of the scale benefits that they are making will not be there. So they have asked for some exemptions, but again the government of India is taking care of it. The Internet and Mobile Association is a non-profit industry representing the part of the online and the value services, which is under this IAMI is registered under the Society Registration Act of 1860. Now, this is a specialized industries in representing the part of interest and even the online value added services since 2004. Now, digital and innovation economy की बात करें इंडियन कंटेक्स्ट में, तो गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया के विजन है 1 trillion of economy coming out from the digital and innovation economy, which is actually growing rapidly, but again it will take time. I mean, possibly by 2025 some of the substantial result will be there. And Digital India Bill is expected to deal with various competition issues and establish the part of broad-based principle related to sector and define market power and market imbalances. Now, moving to the other news, that is India refuses the China's BRI project at the SCO, something important for General Studies paper 2, that is the bilateral regional grouping and agreement involving India and affecting India's interest. So in terms of BRI, there have been question in prelims examination, even for the mains examination. So this is in news, this is in limelight. You must know some of the important information. So during the recent SCO virtual meet, which India held as a presidency, and ये ऑर्गेनाइज की गई थी कल, और इसमें इंडिया ने बेसिकली जो चाइना की एम्बिशियस बेल्ट वन रोड प्रोजेक्ट है उसको बेसिकली where India has not acclaimed it and even India has not recognized, and India said that we do not endorse this part. So India ने इस चीज को endorse करने से straight away reject किया. It has become the only country in the Shanghai Cooperation Organization not to support the project. And a declaration issue, जो part of declarations की बात करें summit की, so some of the countries that participated included Russia, Pakistan, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, Uzbekistan. They affirmed their support, right? और संघाई कॉपरेशंस में जो इम्पोर्टेंट कंट्रीज है, मेंबर कंट्रीज की कंसेंसस मैंडेटरी होती है. और BRI की अगर बात करें, दिस इज समथिंग विच विल डेफिनेटली हेल्प चाइना, और चाइना हैज बीन सपोर्टिंग द पार्ट, राइट. तो चाइना और उसके अलावा चाइना के साथ जो इम्पोर्टेंट कंट्री है जो सपोर्ट कर रही है, दैट इज पाकिस्तान. Now, economic development strategy की अगर बात करें 2030, the member has also considered that it is important to ensure implementation of the SCO economic development strategy with the interested members and project aimed at promoting the cooperations in the area with high technology, modernization of existing international routes and rail transport. India highlighted the need for boosting the connectivity, but asserted that it has essential to respect the basic principle and the SCO charter, especially with the sovereignty and territorial integrity of the member working through such efforts. And India definitely respect the part of territorial integrity and sovereignty of a region. Now, some brief about SCO as this is in news. So from prelims point of view, आपके लिए SCO के बारे में जानना काफ़ी ज़्यादा ज़रूरी है. So the foundation was there in 1996 and the part of the group has expanded. 1999-2001 में यूज़बेकिस्तान ने ज्वाइन किया, फिर 2001 एंड ईरान सबमिटेड इट एप्लीकेशन, और फाइनली ईरान को भी इस बार एज अ परमानेंट मेंबर अडॉप्ट कर ली गई है. दिस इज अगेन वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. आप कुछ बेसिक्स पढ़ सकते हैं. गोल्स एंड ऑब्जेक्टिव्स आर देयर. दिस इज रेलेवेंट फॉर मेंस एग्जामिनेशन. You can pause this video, you can read out the complete goals and objective, and this is how the SCO structure actually work, like the council head of state, the council head of government, council of foreign minister, meeting of the head of the ministers, council of coordinators, and regional anti-terrorist structure. So it's a big body, एक important forum है for the Asian countries, Southeast Asian countries, and SCO itself has become, and it has get us the part of the recognition which is there specifically in the Central Asia. Now, other news, that is center home for trafficked women in the border area, something important for General Studies paper 2, that is welfare schemes for the vulnerable section of the population by the center and the state government. Now, recently, the central government has come up with a plan जहाँ पे उन्होंने decide किया है that there will be a building up of infrastructure in the border areas to combat the part of child trafficking and help the part of rehabilitation and protecting the victims. Right? India is a source where the destiny country for the trafficking person is being drained out to this region. And कुछ countries ऐसे हैं जहाँ से सबसे ज़्यादा लोग इंडिया की तरफ लेकर के आते हैं ट्रैफिक करके, which include the country like Nepal, Bangladesh and Myanmar, right? So these are the countries upon which the people are actually, the child are actually being trafficked, right? So the traffic victim is a border area which will be produced before the Child Welfare Committee to declare and avail their sponsorship as per the mission Vatsalya mission. So government ने कुछ fund allocate किए हैं for the part of the infrastructure development. Now, provision of the financial assistance as a part of initiative, the government, the Women and Child Development Ministries will be providing the financial assistance to states and union territories, and even providing for the protection and rehabilitations. These will also provide the facilities that will be provided include shelters, food, the part of the counseling, primary health facilities, and other facilities that is mostly to the child trafficked, जो ट्रैफिक से बच्चे लाए जाते हैं उनके बेनिफिट्स के लिए, and even the ministry will take care for the part of their education as well. The center has asked the state of the bordering countries to be vigilant on the part where this type of things are taking place. तो rehabilitations और relief के लिए जितने भी possible help हो सके वो countries करेंगे. Till now, the Women and Child Development Ministries has been providing financial assistance for the union territories under the Nirbhaya Fund to be set up under the anti-human trafficking in each districts, right? और country के level पे भी ये develop की जा रही है. Now, the part of this, the border guarding forces and even the BSF and the Sasastra Seema Bal, these are the two paramilitary forces that is operating. और अगर बात करें present में, there is 788 anti-human trafficking units that is developed. Now, moving to the part of the other news, that is a tribute to Alluri Sitarama Raju, something important for General Studies paper 1, that is important personality from ancient to modern times in the freedom struggle of the country. The President of India ने recently address किया closing ceremony that was 125th birth anniversary of Alluri Sitarama Raju at Hyderabad. And speaking at the occasion, she said that he worked against the injustice and exploitations and is a proud chapter of Indian freedom struggle. And the president of the country has also noted that during his younger generation, the part of the awareness and patriotism and the courage which was showed by Mr. Raju was something that has motivated a lot many people. Now, some brief about Alluri Sitarama Raju, and this is again significant for prelims as well as for the mains examination. So, he's a character as an example for uniting society without the discrimination based on caste and class. He adopted the part of tribal society completely and made happiness and sorrow as a tribal society of your own happiness and sorrow. So he has a high empathy skill and he relate to them. He is being remembered as a tribal warrior. He kept fighting on the part of tribal society till his martyrdom. आखिरी सांसों तक उन्होंने fight किया, and even for the part of his name was hero of jungle, which is known as Mayanam Venerable. तो ये उनको कुछ एक basically part of tribute that is being given to him. Freedom movement की अगर बात करें, as a very young age, Mr. Raju channelized the part of distinct hill in the Ganjam in Visakhapatnam, Godavari, and effectively guerrilla resistance जो ब्रिटिश के अगेंस्ट करनी थी उनमें उन्होंने काफ़ी हद तक effectively वर्क किया है. He has become the part of involvement for the anti-British activist in 1882 Madras Forest Act. Rampa Rebellion की अगर बात करें, he has coincided with the Mahatma Gandhi and the non-cooperation movement, persuaded for wearing khadi and giving up the drinking. And again, Raju has been into the police custody and tried with the trees, shot by the police executions, and even extensively ending with the armed rebellion. So he has a lot more important contribution in the southern India and specifically contributed in the mainstream part of the freedom struggle for the country. Now, moving to the editorial of the day, antibiotics with a promise and a lifeline, India that awaits. Basically, that drug that is there, which was developed by Japan. We'll see the details. Something important for General Studies paper 2, that is issues related to development and management of health. So some issues that I'll be discussing. Before that, themes and focus of this article is drug resistance and the way out through important drugs manufacturing. The issues include the Indian innovations, a dire situation, that is a drug that is developed that is called as cefiderocol, and the part of the way forward. Now, in a relentless battle, a continuous battle की अगर बात करें against the drug resistance infections, कुछ teams of doctors ने कुछ hopes दिखाई है, and the challenges has always been there, which has continued for a longer period of time. तो एक एक्स्ट्राऑर्डिनरी एफर्ट में लाइफ सेव करने की कोशिश की गई है, बट अगेन अगर इमरजेंसी यूज ऑथराइजेशंस की बात करें फॉर एंटीबायोटिक्स, देयर वाज अ प्रोफाउंड डिफरेंस बिटवीन द लाइफ एंड डेथ ऑफ एन इंडिविजुअल. कुछ एक रीसेंट इंसिडेंट में एक 18 ईयर ओल्ड के साथ डॉक्टर्स ने मेडिकेशंस दी, उनके टी सेल्स विच इज अ पार्ट ऑफ इम्यूनिटी, टी सेल इज मोस्टली रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर द इम्यूनिटी, टी सेल ल्यूकेमिया के लिए, बट बहुत ज़्यादा प्रोग्रेस उसमें नहीं देखी गई है बिकॉज we have come to a situation where mostly the people are drug resistant. तो उस चीज को, उस कंसर्न को देखते हुए काफी हद तक इंपॉर्टेंट एस्पेक्ट को इस एडिटोरियल में समझाने की कोशिश की गई है. नाउ इन इंडियन इनोवेशन देयर इज एन क्वेस्ट फॉर लाइफ, जहाँ पे डॉक्टर्स ने प्रॉमिस किया एंटीबायोटिक्स की. कुछ एंटीबायोटिक्स हैं जो कि एक्चुअली हेल्प करते हैं, दैट इज कॉल्ड एज अ लाइफ लाइन ड्रग्स ऑल्सो. उसमें कुछ इंपॉर्टेंट ड्रग्स हैं, दैट इज सिफिपिमाइड एंड अगेन अदर इज Zidabactam, right? So these were developed by Indian researchers, और ये एंटीबायोटिक कॉम्बिनेशंस हैं जो कि ड्रग रेजिस्टेंस ग्राम नेगेटिव पैथोजेंस पे इफेक्टिवली वर्क करते हैं, एंड दीज आर नोन एज Pseudomonas aeruginosa, which has been developed as a 3 trials intentionally, and even they have shown a remarkable progress. The extraordinary case undergoes with an urgent importance in the emergency use authorizations for the current the part of the थर्ड ट्रायल विच इज ऑपरेटिंग, और बहुत सारे और कंट्रीज भी इसे कर रहे हैं ट्रायल, बट इंडिया इज स्टिल ऑन अ पार्ट ऑफ प्रोग्रेस विच हैज टू बी मेड, और अभी भी टाइम लगेगी जब इस प्रोग्रेस को कंप्लीट कर दी जाए. नाउ वी आर फेसिंग अ डायर सिचुएशन इन टर्म्स ऑफ द अवेलेबिलिटी ऑफ द ड्रग्स एंड द इनोवेशंस. सो द इन्फेक्शन स्पेशलिस्ट, इंटेंसिविस्ट एंड ऑन्कोलॉजिस्ट डॉक्टर्स का कहना है दैट जो इम्यूनो कॉम्प्रोमाइज पेशेंट्स हैं उनके लिए अभी भी सिचुएशन काफ़ी ख़राब है. द स्कैर्सिटी ऑफ द पोटेंशियल ड्रग विच इंडिया इज लैकिंग इज अ ब्रूटल रियलिटी, राइट, जिसकी वजह से काफ़ी ज़्यादा लाइफ थ्रेट्स हैं. डिस्ट्रेंटिंग द पार्ट ऑफ द पेशेंट्स कंपेयर्ड टू द इन्फेक्शंस बिकॉज ऑफ द अनअवेलेबिलिटी ऑफ द डिजायर्ड एंटीबायोटिक्स दैट इज रिक्वायर्ड. Now, every year, millions of life lost due to the inadequacy and availability of antibiotics that faced formidable pathogens. Now, there's a drug which was manufactured by a Japan company. This drug is known as cefiderocol, or cefiderocol bhi aap bol sakte hain. This is actually the salt, right? The brand name that we're solding is Fetroza, right? So this is a licensed antibiotic drug which is developed by the Japanese company, और ये एक excellent drug है जहाँ पे drug resistance में काफ़ी ज़्यादा काम करती है. This is disheartening that it remain unavailable in India. अभी भी इसकी इंडिया में availability नहीं है, जिस वजह से we are not taking out the benefit, and the gravity of this cases faced by the patient in India is on the higher side. काफ़ी ऐसे patients हैं जो कि इस drugs के demand में. The doctors are the firmly believe that it should also make this drugs अवेलेबल इन इंडिया, और उसके साथ साथ कुछ ऐसी ड्रग्स की कंपोजिशन इंडिया कोलैबोरेट करके उस कंपनी के साथ भी बना सकती है. Now the way forward, government need to improve and implore the part of the authorities that is required for the part of the action required for the immense potential of the life-saving drug. जिस तरह से कुछ इंपॉर्टेंट ड्रग्स जापान ने बनाई है, इंडिया कैन ऑल्सो मेक इट. एंड इमरजेंसी यूज ऑथराइजेशंस की अगर बात करें, सो द इनोवेशंस फॉर द पार्ट ऑफ द cefiderocol एंड द ग्लोबल रिकॉग्नाइज्ड एंटीबायोटिक्स, उस तरह की कुछ चीज़ें इंडिया में भी उसी आर्सेनल, उसी लेवल पे डेवलप करने की ज़रूरत है. एंड अ नेशन नोन साइंटिफिक अचीवमेंट, इंडिया इज डेफिनेटली नोन फॉर the highest productions of the generic drugs and other drugs manufacturing. तो इंडिया के पास ये अपॉर्चुनिटी है कि इस तरह के सिचुएशंस में एक वर्ल्ड स्टेज पे एज अ ग्लोबल लीडर वी कैन कम आउट. सो डेफिनेटली वी नीड टू थिंक अबाउट दिस. Moving ahead with the MCQ questions of the day, before I proceed, just to tell you the answers of yesterday questions. For first question, the correct option is B. For second question, the correct option is C. Today's MCQ for practice, आपको CRA के बारे में बताना है. It's at verify the consultation document. और इंडिया में बेसिकली जो रेगुलेशंस है वो RBI करती है. Do check out for the correct option. Second is about the civil aviation organizations. It is also known, it was actually formed and known as a part of the Sydney Convention. और इसकी जो फाउंडेशंस हैं and been funded by 193 government, part of the government. So check out for the correct option. Practicing a lot more current affair question will give you an added advantages in the upcoming examination. This was all about for the daily news and editorial analysis, followed by the MCQ questions. If you have any queries about admissions, courses, you can reach out to us at our website, and even the contact number that is mentioned with it. We'll be more than happy to assist you. For time being, I'm signing off. Thank you so much for watching this video.